Welcome back to Winning on Taxes. And we were just talking about how the IRS is the biggest bureaucracy out there, very difficult to work with. And we're going to look at a map that kind of explains and shows how it really is a spaghetti noodle mess and a crazy bureaucracy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And this map is directly from the IRS, specifically Taxpayer Advocate. So it starts off here, taxpayer begins filing the process, you submit your returns, and then it can get examined, it can go through audits, it goes to the processing station here, and from here it can go out to exams. So again, this is all the little stops along the way as it goes through. It can either go to exams where they look at it initially and say, okay, what's going on here? It can go to audits, so you have these, or it can go to collections. So exams includes audits. If it goes to collections, now they're going to try to collect from you. From there, you can appeal it. You can take it to tax court. And this, while it looks crazy, it is a little bit crazy. And here, light blue, private debt collection. That's a new thing that they've been using the last couple of years. But arrows are going every which way through the process. If you want to find this roadmap, just go to taxpayer. You can go to irs.gov and type in IRS roadmap, or go to Taxpayer Advocate, which is where this is actually from. It's taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov, or you can just Google IRS roadmap and it'll come right up. So again, it can be very confusing going through this. This is not meant to scare people. It's just to give you an idea of how complicated the IRS can be and why it's always important to get good information first. So one of the big concerns here is how to navigate this. And I hate to say this, it doesn't include, that roadmap doesn't include all the different layers at the IRS, because they've added quite a few. And honestly, I'd love to see some of those layers go away and make it easier for taxpayers to know how to deal with the IRS. So some of those layers, when you first call into the IRS, you're just going to be talking the first layer, which is called the streamline layer. And sometimes you talk to someone that's a representative, kind of a receptionist. All they do is forward your case on. Is this personal? Is this business? Do you owe? What are you looking for, a refund, or are you looking for a collections issue? And the first thing they say, or you might say, they'll transfer you right away. And that's if you get to a person. The next layer is called the streamline unit, where they can set up simple installment agreements. But if your case is in collections over a certain amount, over $25,000, they can't help you. So they have to forward you on. If you have a business unit, you have to go to the business line. And it gets a little bit crazy, but if you're in collections, that's another layer on top of that. So you have the receptionist, streamline unit, collections, and now the IRS has added even more layers, special compliance, and then on top of that, accounts management. And that is all within that red box on the map. So again, it's almost impossible for the average taxpayer to know how to communicate, how to navigate this. It is really kind of crazy how people are expected to understand this. But once you understand the different layers, you know who you should be talking to, you can know that you're talking to the right person and start getting the information you need to get compliant with the IRS. And so we're going to mention that and really get into that next time. But we're going to talk about some keys here in the next section on how to get through the IRS. You call the IRS, most of the time, you can't even get through. So that's why it's so important to know who you need to talk to. That way you can get through, talk to the right person, and get your case moving forward. So if you're trying to get income information, we'll talk about who do you talk to, what should you request, and we're going to dive into that in the next segment right after this commercial break. So stay tuned for that. We're going to, again, continue talking about the IRS bureaucracy and how to navigate that and give you some helpful tips on how to get through and get good information for you and for your family and for your business. So that way, you can talk to the right person. And instead of having just spinning in circles, you can actually move forward with your case and breathe easy, because again, this keeps people up at night, stresses them out, and a huge part of what we do is help people get peace of mind and find that peace. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this break.